If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Won't you? Love me.
What's up, guys? I'm Stephanie and welcome back to our channel. How are you guys doing today? As you know, it is a Monday, which means I am alone here to talk to you guys. And if you already saw the title of this video, you'll know that today I'm going to be talking about moving out at the age of 19. Since I did move out at the age of 19, I'll tell you guys. And also while I'm telling you, I'm going to do my makeup just because I need to get ready. So let's kill two birds with one stone, you know what I'm saying? Oh, also before I start this video, I do want to talk. I'm not wearing my glasses, and that's because I'm wearing my contacts by Hubble, and they're a subscription, and I really like them. They're very nice and they're very soft. They don't hurt my eyes or anything, and they're dailies. So you just put them on, take them out, and throw them in the trash. So I really do like these, in case you guys were wondering. And let's get started. I'm gonna put on my little headband before we start. So I just kind of want to give a backstory of what happened before I moved out of my house at 19. So I always known since I was little that when I graduated, we were gonna move to Costa Rica. Like my family was gonna move to Costa Rica because my mom had land over there and she always wanted to move over there. So I've kind of always known that I was gonna move over there and I was gonna go to like college over there and everything was great. 2017, I moved to Costa Rica with my parents, but the thing was that 3 months before that, I met David, which I mean, I think it does play a very big role in why I moved out, but I don't like to say that he's the only reason why I moved out of my house, because then it's kind of like, I don't like that, but he is a big reason why I moved out of my house. Okay, so I moved to Costa Rica. I started going to college over there. Everything was fine. The only thing I didn't like about the college was the schedules. It was from 5 to 10 o'clock at night, and I was riding buses there. So it was a little bit dangerous, which is probably the only thing I didn't like. But during college, I met amazing people. I met my best friend. Like, it was an overall great experience. I was going to college for an English teacher, which I really did enjoy. But then I started finding out that English teachers don't make that much money over there. And either way, my plan was to always go to school over there, finish it, and come back to Florida and work here. Then I started like researching, and a lot of degrees, when you get a degree in another country, you have to come back. When you come back, you still have to go to school and finish because it's different. So sometimes the degrees don't even work, which really scared me because then I'm like, I'm going to school for something that's not gonna work here, and I'm gonna waste my time, which is something I did not want to do. Oh my god, I would die. So I started thinking about moving back. I did talk to David a lot about this, and he always agreed that I should move back and stuff like that. But I just think that's because we really wanted to be with each other. Also, another thing that made me want to move out was I wasn't finding any jobs in Costa Rica. It's really hard to find a job over there, and if you do find a job, the pay is not that good. So either way, I was living off of my mom, and I didn't like that either because I did see that my mom has always wanted to build this house of hers, and I completely support that. That's her dream. I want her to have that. My thing was she was spending so much money on my college and on my stuff that when was that gonna happen? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm living off of my mom, so I don't want to do that. I want her to have her dream and spend her money on things that she likes. So then I started thinking about moving back. And it was very scary because I did not want to tell my mom. I really didn't. I was so scared. I was like, she really wants me to go to school. She's gonna hate me. Like, this is horrible. So I told my dad and my grandpa. And they're like, yeah, you should do it. Like, you should move back or whatever. Like, you're very capable of, like, you're strong, smart, whatever. And I was like, okay, like, I just need to tell my mom. And they actually were the ones to tell my mom and start this whole thing up. They told my mom, and my mom was pissed. I've never seen my mom so mad in her whole life. Let me tell you guys that. She was so mad, and my dad was the one that was like supporting the fact that I wanted to move moved back. And then I remember my mom calling David's mom and like arguing with her and telling her like, my daughter can't move over there and stuff like that. Cause I would be mad too. Someone's trying to take your kid somewhere to another country. Like I would be upset too. And like, yeah, I'm an adult, but I had never been by myself. So like, I understand why my mom was mad. And so then time passed, she agreed, she talked to David's mom, they came to an agreement that maybe the best thing was for me to move back. So I started planning to move out of my house. I didn't really have any money. So David was the one who bought me my plane ticket to come here. But before I moved back, my uncle sells clothes in Costa Rica, and I started buying clothes off of him and selling it to other people so I could make profit. So then I could take that money and bring it here to like had a job and stuff like that. So what I did was I worked a lot selling clothes. Let me tell you, I was selling clothes to everybody. Like I became the best seller ever. I was like, yo, this looks so good on you. You need to buy this and that. And his clothes was really beautiful too. So I was like, this is great. In total, I was able to save $800. With those $800, I was able to move here because David had already gotten my ticket, so I didn't spend money on that. Like I didn't really need to buy my ticket, so that was money that I was saving. Another thing was I didn't want to spend money on another luggage, so I only came to Florida with one luggage, like all my belongings in one luggage. And I think that's just very crazy because when you think about it, how do you fit your whole life in one luggage? That really made me think about like, what do I really need and like what things I really did like. So I did that and I moved here. Moving here was, I think it was hard. At first it was very beautiful. It was a very beautiful thing. Like you're independent, you're free. You don't have to worry about your mom, like, or whatever. But now moving here, I had to find a job and I had to get a car and I had to be independent. And yeah, I was living with David, but I had to learn how to live without my mom being always there for me to catch me if I do something. You know, like if I mess up, like my mom would always be there, but she just wasn't there anymore. I started looking for jobs. My first job that I got was through my mother-in-law. She used to work at Jason's Deli and so did David. And they were really good friends with the people there, so I was able to get a job there. So that was my first job back. I really liked it. It was a nice job. The people were really nice. I learned a lot. I learned how to work really hard. They really worked me over there. But I met very nice, beautiful people. From Jason's Deli, I worked my ass off. I've never worked so hard in my life. While I was in Jason's Deli and working really hard, I was able to travel. With David, we went to Tennessee, we went to the Bahamas, we also went to like festivals, we went to EDC and stuff. So that's things I would have never been able to do if I never moved out and started living on my own. Just because, I don't know, like I didn't want to ask for my mom's money anymore. Like I didn't want to just live off of her. So being able to travel with your own money and stuff like that, that's very nice to me. Like I think that's awesome. So after a while, I started getting really tired of working at Jason's Deli. It was around my birthday in October. I started getting very tired because it was a very physical job. The food industry is very hard. I honestly, like, God bless everybody who works in the food industry because it's really hard. It really is. I started looking for other jobs and I went to Claire's. And I don't know if you guys know Claire's, but Claire's is where they pierce everybody's ears and it's like a kid's, well, it's like a tween store. And I got a job as a key holder there. So it was like a supervisor position. So then I was able to work less days at Jason's Deli and working more days at Claire's. That was awesome because then I wasn't so tired and I was able to go out and enjoy my life. Like before I wasn't able to do anything. I was just working. But now I was able to enjoy a little bit more. Like I had more energy to go out and stuff like that. I worked at Claire's for a while. I really liked it. And then I came to the decision that I really want to leave Jason's Deli and I was going to start looking for another job again. I started looking for other jobs and I got a job at Skechers, which was a great job. And with that job and Jason Selly and Claire's and all these jobs, I was able to save money to get my first car, which did take me a really long time. Honestly, it took me about a year to get a car just because of traveling. Honestly, I would have gotten a car faster if David and I didn't travel as much, but I don't regret it. Like, we had great times traveling, so that is that. But I got a car and I got more independent, and then now David and I have our own house. So I think everything worked out for the best. I want to tell you guys how it was moving in with David and actually living with him, because when you move in with somebody, that's like a whole nother thing. Moving in with David was probably the craziest thing I've ever done, in my opinion. But David and I are gonna make a separate video and talk about how it was to like move in together as a couple. But yeah, that's kind of my story of when I moved out of my house and how I did it. I honestly just saved up a shit ton. Well, it wasn't that much money. It was only $800. But if you have a place to go, then you don't need that much money. But if you're gonna move out on your own and rent somewhere, then you need to save up a lot of money. I would recommend to just save. And then if you really want to move, then you can do it. Like, honestly. Oh, also, I would probably get a car before you move out. That would help a lot because I didn't have a car and it was really hard. I had to get a ride from David all the time, or his mom, or I would have to Uber, and it was just expensive, and it was not convenient for anybody, because always someone had to pick me up, and like I feel like I was in the back of everyone's head, like, oh my god, I have to pick Stephanie up from somewhere. So I would recommend to just have a car, save a bunch of money, and be ready to pay a bunch of bills and be by yourself. That's my story. I moved to Florida from a whole other country, and I'm doing just fine. Honestly, it is the craziest, best decision I've ever made in my life. The only thing that I don't like or that bothers me about being in Florida is that I'm very far away from my mom and I miss her with my whole heart. That is like, I'm about to start crying. But that's like the only thing, is that I miss my mom. But I can travel and I can see her and it's fun. So I'm very grateful that I moved out. I'm not saying everybody should move out. Some people should just stay at their house, and honestly, just stay at your house and like save money. Because if you're at your parents' house too, I feel like you can save so much money. If I was still with my mom, I would have a lot of money, but I'm not, and I have to pay bills, and you know what, that is completely fine. But you just have to do like pros and cons, like what would work better for you. I'm sorry this video was probably like all over the place, but that's my story of how I moved out at the age of 19. And if you guys want any more tips and tricks, or if you have any more questions about it, you can always leave them down in the comments and I will be sure to answer them for you guys. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I love you guys so much. Happy Monday.